Welcome back, everyone. We are back.
We are back.
And the lovely wife, Kelly, is going to turn up the vocal coach and just pour it all over this video. And please share with everyone your observations of what this looks like to you. Because...
I feel like it looks like if Saturday Night Live was trying to do a parody of like a night show with like a band. That's what this setup looks like to me, and I'm already in a place where I'm like, I don't know if I could take this seriously. But I'm gonna try really hard.
Anyway. So this is a live video. I couldn't find another live video easily or quickly enough. Because somebody requires a live recording versus studio.
If you're gonna if you're gonna evaluate someone's vocal and musical ability, you want it to be live, because if it's a studio version, then there's auto-tune and all this other post-production stuff, and it's hard to judge.
Actually, the thought I just had is that's a good point, because if we're going to talk about and watch like a studio or music video, that's going to be more of a review of the music versus a critique of
them as
the singer's vocal ability.
And
so this is obviously a live performance they did on Calgary news show.
Calgary.
Why? I don't know. I just found it. Let's just watch
ready.
it. All right.
Let's do this.
So this is Unleash the Archers. I forget the name. That's the drummer guy. You can't see my mouse. That's the drummer guy right there with his little swishy chime thing.
They are chimes. Good job.
The board almost left me. Anyway, so this is Unleash the Archers, a ultra acoustic, ultra live version in a Calgary news channel.
All over North America for the past month or so, and Unleash the Archers performs tonight at Dickens Pub here in Calgary. We're getting a preview right now. What are you going to play for us?
Apex.
Okay, take it away.
I believe this is their most recent album.
Interesting choice sitting. For her, anyway.
Why is that? I know the answer, but... Do you want me to try?
I can elaborate. No, it's fine.
Do you want me to try and give the answer?
Sure, Keith. What's the answer?
I believe most classically trained, or at least somewhat trained vocalists, you should be standing full upright, so you can get the the most amount of breath, since you have the most amount of space to expand your diaphragm, and it keeps you nice and up and right and straight and proper.
Yeah. To support your sound, it's easier standing. You can do it sitting, but you have to be like up, actually sitting up straight, and even then it's hard. So it's just an interesting choice.
Okay, how close was I?
You were on the right track. Yes, that you want to have space to expand when you breathe down. Like I always say, breathe down and out. Some people like to say breathe like a turtle and breathe through your butt. Breathe down and out. I learned that from a School of Rock teacher. I love her so much. But breathe down and out. And if you're sitting up straight or standing up straight, you have the most space to expand your rib cage and your back and
Anyway,
all that good stuff.
Let's move on.
She has a lovely voice. You can tell she's a little fatigued, though.
This may have been if
they're having a show that they're touring. You can tell
she's probably they probably just came off of a show the night before or several nights before.
She's holding a cup of water
or coffee.
Or coffee. You know, I can't relate at all right now.
A tea.
It's T, yes, but I can't. She has a lovely voice.
She's a little bit lower than that might be like you said. She's maybe a little fatigued, but she's a little lower than her like the actual recordings.
Like lower in volume?
Tone, just barely.
Like I'm not sure what you mean by that. Yeah, I can hear that vocal fatigue.
Yeah,
Poor thing, I can hear it.
She's not. I can tell too.
She's
like,
she's not pushing. She's like, I'm breathing. I'm drinking water.
I've heard a bunch of their stuff, and yeah, she's not going as high as she can.
And she had a few intonation issues at the beginning that seemed like they've kind of worked the bugs out a little bit as she's sung. She's hitting pitches right in the center where they're supposed to be, sound like where they're supposed to be. And it sounds like everything's in a pretty high register, so yeah, if you're trying to sing that with some vocal fatigue, that's gonna be painful. Again, I wouldn't know anything about that.
Just realized that was a bass guitar.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, there's only 4 strings. You weirdo.
Yeah. Acoustic bass this way.
Oh, they got 2.
They're cool.
Poor drummer guy.
She has really nice vowel shapes, and she's getting like really good space. Yeah, tongues at the base of her teeth. You can see it. She's getting the resonance in the right part of her face. She's got her own little like cool little flippy bits that make it interesting to her.
Maybe flippy bits.
Like that. Can you? Like she's doing this like she's got a that.
So one of the issues I took with them when I first heard them was like she didn't have a lot of variety to her voice.
She's a good choir kid. It's like
yeah, I mean, which is
it's
fine.
lovely and it's pretty and like.
But when you're doing this crazy power metal stuff, you gotta have some variety in it.
Yeah.
And in their newer stuff, it's a lot different, and there's a lot more variety in her voice.
Yeah, you should go find the video you were gonna show me originally. Now I've heard her.
You want to finish this one?
It's gonna be more of the same.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna wait for drummer guy to do something. 'Cause he hasn't done anything.
He hasn't done anything. He's got those chimes.
He's ready.
It's fair. He's
got a
so
little chime
ready.
stick.
He's...
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
You're so excited, right? Does that not? Look at his face. He knows.
Yeah.
He knows, man. He's like, it's my one job. I got one job. That's awesome. Yes. No, she's got a lovely voice. I would bet you money she's a choir kid, high school choir kid.
Fun fact: she is.
Yep, bet you money. Like, she's a choir kid. Faux show.
So yeah, I saw a interview with her. Actually, that one right there. Where yeah, she's like, yeah, she did the requisite like choir in high school, I think. Mm-hmm. I don't remember anything else.
When she started singing, I was like, oh, this would be good for me for karaoke. This is right in my like range and wheelhouse. Well, she's a good choir kid. That's why. Soprano choir kid.
Okay, so this is the video that I was originally going to have you critique and review, but somebody required a live recording.
I'm a diva. I'm sorry.
Because auto-tune.
Post-production is a real thing, and it's a problem when you're trying to judge people. Okay? Sorry.
Yeah, so hopefully there's minimal on this one. But this is a full band recording, so you get the drummer in action. Let's get into it. We're gonna cut that bit out. And hopefully, if this is a recording,
yeah, she's less
taking
fatigued.
taking a few days off and
taking some vocal rest. It's important. It's a real thing.
Coming straight from and to a show.
Yeah. To her life.
And
No part of that.
the interview with David Draymond, lead singer of Disturbed. So he's like 2-hour show a night.
Yeah, gross.
Every day of the week.
Gross.
No fun.
Gross.
I think gone are the days of like thrash and metal bands. Like, I'm just gonna go out there and thrash it up. And even like these upstart nobody bands are like, nope, you gotta take care of your voice, man.
Yeah, you gotta take care of your voice.
Yeah, warm up.
Fun and interesting thing, looking at the bass and guitar players, they're holding them like the classical guitar kids with their knee up. They're like in my college, all the guitarists would come out and they get their little arc and they all have their little foot pedals, little footsteps to hold their guitars properly.
Well, they're doing a full recording.
Right, you'd want to take care of yourself. Yeah, it's just fun.
Oh, there we go.
Look at all that space. But yeah, listen to all that post-production.
Yeah, maybe she is about the same range as she was in live.
Yeah, it's the same range. It's same, like, they're not going to change the key it's in for a live production, especially on acoustic instruments.
For some reason, she sounded lower.
Well, this is a brighter tone, so like
that could be it.
She's singing in this; it's much more forward. It's this brasher sound as opposed to like a taller, prettier sound.
I love this. Like,
his foot pedal.
I love watching drummer foot pedals, especially when they go like full double kick.
Yeah, because when she's saying like her E vowel, she's saying versus or she's saying like versus like it's what am I doing? Versus There's a very different sound to both of those.
I have a drummer watch drummers too. His little kick technique is interesting.
I'm gonna get Joe in here.
Maybe. Yeah, it's like that foot right there.
Yeah.
He's got like the
left foot.
And my left and right. He's got like a double kick on a single down. I don't know drumming terminology at all. Can't tell.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. It's interesting hearing her from the one to the other, actually, and how her placement and vowel shape changed. Yes, they're different songs, but this is, again, metal and like rock as opposed to this like acoustic setting that's a little more lyrical. It's just really interesting. Now I wonder if in the studio recording of the one that we heard, it sounds more like what we heard or more like this.
I asked you if you wanted that one. You're like, no, it's fine. It's fine.
It's just interesting. It's just interesting. And she's got a lot of power.
Like I said, I like her a lot more on these.
And like, yeah.
The recent album compared to like the really early stuff. It's rough. It's really rough around the edges. Like,
yeah.
You can tell they're fresh.
Yeah.
But
no,
they've grown on me. I really like them anymore.
No, they're good. Well, and yeah, again, clear she was a choir kid. She's got good technique. She's got lots of space. She's dropping that jaw. She's able to play with that placement and do interesting things with it between those two videos. Like, now I can't comment on people who scream. I've tried to dive down that rabbit hole to do that healthfully.
There is a way.
There is a way. It's freaking hard, and I've tried. It's an enigma to me. I can't make that noise without it hurting, and I don't.
Just as it's not supposed to hurt.
If it hurts, you're doing it wrong.
Okay.
That is the number one rule of singing. If it hurts, you're doing it wrong. So I'll yell that at my children. I'll be like, if it hurts, you're doing it wrong. Stop. Take a breath.
That's why I don't sing.
But yeah, no, if you're producing sound and it is actually hurting you to sing, you're doing it wrong. we need to tweak something or change it. And my understanding of like what I do understand of singing like screamo style stuff in a way that's healthy is finding that it's like that sound, like when you're breathing, like the air, instead of it hitting and like rubbing between your vocal cords that aren't fully closed, you're doing it with like other parts of your mouth, basically. Huh. It's very weird, and I like couldn't get, like, I just can't. Yeah, I can't make my mouth do that.
It almost sounds like you're trying to make a phlegm.
Yeah, it's like a phlegm noise. Yeah, it's very weird.
Well, that's right at the back of the throat, like tongue, uvula.
Yeah, I can't seem to do it. Yeah.
It's very, very perfect teeth.
There's some sort of effect on her that I can't quite identify when she's singing. Whether there's an effect, because there's an effect. I don't know if it's just a lot of reverb or if they've got like.
I don't think so.
Or there's something there. I can't identify.
Unless they put it on everything.
It's on her.
No. Unless they put it on everything of her.
It's giving her more depth to her sound than is normally there.
It's just her.
No, it's like other pitches.
You think?
It's either some sort of reverb or there's like you can sing into it and it'll generate thirds and fifths and like the octaves. It'll generate that. I forget. It's something. There's something on her that's making it sound all metally and cool. But she's got a lot of power behind her voice. If you ever need
good metal, Napalm has some amazing bands.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I have forgotten her name. What say you of Unleash the Archers?
She's a lovely voice. She's a talented vocalist. She knows what she's doing. And she's writing stuff vocally that fits in her range and is smart for her. Clearly, though, from that first video, needs to work on taking care of herself so she has that voice and doesn't get
she might, and that may have just been an off day.
You know. No, clearly. Like, I'm going through vocal fatigue right now. Clearly, it happens to the best of us. But, it's a matter of, like, she has good technique to fall back on, and when you're fatigued or injured or sick, like, that's what you want to fall back on. And she's writing music for herself that she can use that good technique in tall vowels consistently because it's part of her sound, so she doesn't have to stretch it. Whereas, like, if you're writing stuff that has a lot of growls in it and that's not natural to you, doing that's going to fatigue you faster. Or, like, if you don't know how to scream in a healthy way, that's going to fatigue you faster. Things like that. Writing stuff that fits within that realm of good technique or lends itself well to good technique certainly is a smart decision on her part as an artist. But it's also probably what she likes to sing and what she's good at and what sounds good.
I hope so. They've been doing it for 10 years.
Yeah, well, but part of that staying power is good technique. Clearly good technique, not just from her, but also from her guitar players.
Pushing 12 years.
Yeah, I'd bet you money they're classically trained guitarists. They're sitting like that for a studio. they're classically trained guitarists.
So, moral of the story is take care of your voice, warm up, vocal rest.
Yeah, technique matters. Building on technique and learning theory is really important to having some staying power, and I think this band tells you that, right? They clearly have technique and clearly have some background, at least enough to keep them going, and that's how you have staying power. If you're a one-hit wonder, it's because you've got nothing else to fall back on. But if you have a 10-year-long career in music, you know what you're doing.
Or you just have
figured it out.
You're really bad at writing songs.
But writing songs is a formula. It's all theory. Like 14151. Go look up 4 Chords by Axis of Awesome. It's all music is formulaic, especially popular music. It doesn't matter the genre. It's all very formulaic, and if you understand how chords interact with each other, if you understand how music is structured, you can then play within that structure. If you don't understand any part of that or don't have a grasp of it, everything will sound the same because you aren't able to play and you aren't able to pull. Like, part of the reason Tool is so interesting, right? Jazz drummer got lots to pull from in the realm of these weird meters and cool rhythms, you know. And if you have any like jazz, you know, piano background or jazz guitar background, you've got some really cool things you can pull out of your pocket with modal scales and blues scales and things of that nature. So understanding theory is what can help you get out of your rut. It's what can give you creative things to pull from and make you a better writer.
Okay.
Theory matters. Teachers matter.
So before we get more of her dissertation on theory, we are going to end it there because that was way too much of a lecture than I really wanted. But I hope everyone enjoyed it. Thanks for sticking around.
You made it this far.
Please,
congratulations.
Yeah, I hope you give a subscribe for sticking around. We'll see everyone in the next one. Farewell.